Multiplying and dividing in scientific notation. We're going to learn how to multiply numbers that are written in scientific notation, and then we're going to learn how to divide, and that'll be the lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll multiply. Here's two numbers written in scientific notation. How we go about this is you'll notice that everything is being multiplied. This number, 4.2, is multiplied times 10 to the third, and actually 10 to the third is just 10 times 10 times 10, so that's more multiplication. Since there's nothing in between the two parentheses, this implies multiplication. And then, of course, 10 to the fourth, 1.6 times, that's being multiplied again, times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. There's 4 more 10s here being multiplied. Everything's multiplied, so there's no addition, no subtraction, no division. When everything's being multiplied, we know we can just multiply in whatever order we want to multiply in. So let's try to make this simple. Let's first multiply the leading numbers. So just in your mind, erase the times 10 to the power and just multiply 4.2 times 1.6 is what we'll do first. Then we'll come back and we will multiply just the times 10 to the power. So we'll do it in two steps. Number one, we're going to multiply 4.2 times 1.6, and then we're going to come back and multiply the tens. And how we do that is when we multiply x to the third times x to the second, you remember that what we do there is when we have common bases being multiplied is we add their exponents. So this would be x to the fifth, or how I want you to write it tonight is x to the 3 plus 2. We're going to show the arithmetic. Okay, so the same thing goes for, instead of x's, we have tens. So this will be times 10 to the 3 plus 4. That's exactly how I want you to write your answer tonight. Now I realize we could do more work here. We could multiply these two numbers, and we could add the 3 plus the 4 and have it 10 to the 7th. We'll do that later, but for right now, for tonight's homework, HW 1.11, you're going to do that right there and stop. Okay, we'll get into using calculators a little further along. Let's practice one more. You see two scientific notation numbers. They're being multiplied. You just saw what to do. Go ahead and hit pause if you need to. Work this problem out, and then hit play, and here we are back. You'll see it's 9.2 times 6.4. All that is multiplied times 10 to the 8 plus 7. That is what is happening. That is the mechanics of what takes place. You multiply the first two numbers, and then you multiply the powers of 10, and really when you do that, you just add the exponents. Now, what if there's negative exponents? Nothing changes. Everything stays the same. You do the exact same steps. So right now, if you want to try that, you can. You can pause me and start me, but let's say if we do this, it'll be 2.8 times 1.1. All that multiplied times 10 to the negative 6 plus negative 4. I'm going to put parentheses around the negative 4 to show that, hey, this is not plus minus 4, this is plus a negative 4. You can put parentheses around the other one. I'm going to put ghost parentheses around there to show that they could be there or they could not be there. It doesn't matter. But you kind of need, you like to have, I want to see you put in the parentheses around the second number. Okay, so this is what I hope you box in for an answer on your homework. Now, that was multiply. Let's do divide, and then we're finished. Okay, the division is going to work the same way. We're going to first tackle just the numbers. So in your mind, forget about the fact that these are written in scientific notation. Just worry about the 8.04 divided by 6.7. Then you'll come back and we'll worry about common bases being divided with powers on them. So that'd be 10. You'll do this, you'll say this is 10 to the 5 minus 2, not plus. We're now subtracting. Remember, when you subtract, when you divide common bases with powers, then what that is that's like writing 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 over 10 times 10. And we remember that this one crosses this one out, this one crosses this one out, and you're left with 3. So that's really 5 minus 2 is 3. So that is what we will do here. Alright, now don't and you can also notice that what you've got is a fraction times a fraction. This is being multiplied, so you're really just multiplying the tops times the tops and the bottoms times the bottoms, just like we always have. And let's go ahead and write out the answer for this then. This would be, what I want you to write for your homework is 8.04 divided by 6.7, and then take all that and multiply it times 10 to the, subtract them out, is 5 minus 2. That is all I want you to do. We will go further than that next, but for right now, I want you to see the mechanics of what is taking place with the exponents and what do you do with the leading numbers. Now here's one for you to practice with. Go ahead and hit pause and do it and then play. Okay, so you should have written down 9.1 over 3.6 times 10 to the 11 minus 5. That is all I'm asking for. That's what's going on there. Okay, we'll get to the answer for that next. What if there's negative exponents in a division problem? Nothing changes. Same thing. Go ahead and try to work that out and then hit play whenever you're ready. What you should have done is you should have had 9.2 over 7.1 times 10 to the, you got two different negative numbers and they're being subtracted. So make sure you do this right. You got negative 11 minus a negative 3. We'll put a set of parentheses to show that this is not negative 3, it's minus a negative 3. And to solve that, of course, you would, later on, we will go ahead and do it and say add the opposite and make that, instead of subtracting a negative, it's the same as adding a positive, but that's not what I'm after for tonight's homework. I'm wanting you to stop right here. Just write this out. You'll see what's going on, and that's it. So you can leave this screen up as examples as you do your homework, and don't forget, when you're multiplying, you're adding, and when you're dividing, you're subtracting the powers, but the numbers, when you multiply the numbers, and when you divide the numbers. This is exactly what your homework answers should look like. So you cannot go with the instructions in the book. Do not follow the instructions in the book, and looking up the answers in the back of the book is pointless because they're wanting you to use a calculator. So I've assigned you the odd ones. Later, when we start using calculators, we'll come back and do the even ones. But for right now, just do this. These start on 120, do these problems, do the odd ones, and that is your homework for the night. Thanks.